So coming from independence perspective, I understand where Ron Paul's coming from on that. You know what I mean? If he chooses to live his life without insurance, it's his choice to do so. You know what I mean? But if something happens, you got to live with those consequences as well as a responsible adult. You know what I mean? I mean, cause they can come up with insurance for anything. You know what I mean? But it might not never happen. But you'll pay for it and this and that. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm looking at it from a perspective that I'm really just totally disappointed. I'm disappointed with the way the Tea Party treated Ron Paul. Man, it's. I mean, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the entire Tea Party because I know a large portion of the Tea Party recognizes that Ron Paul basically is the godfather of the Tea Party. You know what I mean? Basically, what we have here is, you know, that portion of the Tea Party who loves war. Really, you know, I mean, they might not want to come out in the open and say that they, yes, I love war, but I mean, they're always voting for it. They're always putting candidates in office who are going to continue these endless wars, really. You know what I mean? And this is what I have to say. I mean, for all of those people out there who say that we need to be over there, who say that this is necessary for America's defense and its security. You know what I mean? Don't talk to me about how this war is good for America. You know what I mean? If you really believe that this war is good for America, back your words up with your fucking actions, man. Suit up. Put the boots on. Why don't we send your ass overseas and let you fight the fucking war? Because the soldiers who are over there right now, they're dying to see their families, dude. They've been over there for 10 fucking years, okay? And all the soldiers that come back, for the most part, they realize that it's not about freedom and liberty. It's not about protecting our Constitution over there. It's about motherfuckers making money, dog. Halliburton, the defense contractors, all of the fucking mercenaries over there. People who are getting paid 3 times as much to do a job that a U.S. soldier would get paid $22,000 a year to do, okay? You know what I mean? So when you want to talk about war from an honest perspective, be real. Be real about it, dude. The only reason why there's war is because it's profitable, and some people make a lot of money off of that. If it was, I mean, for the most part, for the large portion of populations, you know, you talk to the common man in America and the common man in the Middle East, they'll both tell you that I don't want war. You know what I mean? I'd rather talk to someone who's different than me. You know what I mean? But for those in the population who say that, no, this war is just, this war is needed, go over there and fight it. Stop being a cheerleader on the sideline, a keyboard warrior. Go fight the fucking war. Stop sending our kids over there to fight this just war that you got up in your head. And the reason why they're over there dying is because you're too fucking dumb to recognize the propaganda. You know what I mean? To think that they hate us because of our freedom and our liberty. You know what I mean? Like, yo, first of all, we're losing that every fucking day. All right? We're losing our freedom every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? So for the last 10 years, all the soldiers who have died thinking they were dying for our freedom and dying for our liberty and dying to keep us a prosperous country. You know what I mean? You sitting over here being apathetic and not paying attention to what the fuck is going on, you're making sure that they're dying in vain. That's the saddest part about this whole thing, man. That's the saddest part about this fucking war. So many soldiers died thinking they were doing the right thing, thinking they were dying for their kids' rights, for their kids' liberties, for the rights and liberties of their families. You know what I mean? What do you say to them? What do you say to those family members who have lost loved ones when our rights are being stripped? When we no longer have the right to habeas corpus? You know what I'm saying? When the 4th Amendment gets thrown out in the courts of Indiana. What do you say to them? Do you say that you support the troops? I doubt that. Ron Paul got the most support from active duty and retired military members than all other GOP candidates combined. So you can knock that bullshit off right now, talking about you support the troops, and that's why we gotta let them win. You want to let them win? Bring them home. Bring them home if you want to let them win. That's the only real victory these guys got right now. That's the only thing they got to look forward to. Because we ain't gonna conquer the Middle East. We ain't gonna overthrow an ideal, a way of life, a religion. You're not gonna do that through force of arms. All right. This is, I mean, it's sad to see. Just when I thought we was on our way. You know, we was on our way to ending these wars, man. And a large part of it had to do with the activism of the Tea Party speaking out against the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War. And I mean, just seeing it tonight. I mean, maybe maybe, who knows? Maybe the neocons got their dudes in the debate to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, that side of the war argument was the only one that was heard. I'm not too sure, but I'm not too big on conspiracies. What I saw was a large group of people just cheering for more war, cheering for more unconstitutional, undeclared wars. That's what I saw. But for the most part, man, that it just shows Ron Paul supporters, man, how much more diligent we gotta be in educating the public, man. You know what I mean? Because as far as 9/11 goes, it's an open wound, and it's gonna stay open, so long as we choose not to understand what the fuck caused it. You understand? And so long as we're not willing to look at ourselves, right? So long as we're not allowed to say that, hey, maybe us being over there ain't a good idea. So long as we're not allowed to say that, it's gonna be an open wound, and healing will never begin. No matter how many pretty buildings they fucking build, no matter how many ceremonies they have, these. I mean, and it's so hypocritical for the federal government to even have ceremonies in the name of first responders and people who died on 9/11. I mean, they don't want to stop this shit. You know what I mean? All they want to do is send more Americans overseas. And for what? Because motherfuckers is making money, dog. Defense contractors is paying off politicians to ensure that this war keeps going on. And I mean, it's not like this is the first time it's ever happened. Every major war we've been in since World War I, there's been elements of that war that played both sides. You know. So, as far as this debate goes, I was very disappointed, man. Very disappointed. I was ecstatic to hear Ron Paul's answers, and he gave very good answers, very credible answers. But I'm really starting to get sick of this, the control that the media has over asking these questions. I mean, really, you want to talk about the Federal Reserve, and you don't talk to the #1 Federal Reserve critic in Congress. You know what I mean? You talk to all of these wannabes, people who are adjusting their positions to sound more like Ron Paul, but they're not actually Ron Paul. You know what I mean? Like, it's disappointing, man. Really, it's fucking disappointing, man. And I mean, I understand everybody in the Tea Party isn't pro-war. Everybody in the Tea Party isn't. You're not all stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I consider myself a Tea Party member. Went down to a rally couple months ago, type of shit. But I mean, for the most part, what I saw was, you know, anti-war, anti-big government. But I mean, so long as we're pro-war, we're always going to be pro-big government, no matter any way you cut it. You know what I mean? You ain't going to have a small government if you're policing the world. I'll tell you that shit right now. And that's exactly what it is. It has nothing to do with defense. Okay? That's a fucking joke. You talking about you want to defend this nation, but you're sending its fucking armed services halfway around the world. It's fucking ridiculous, man. But for the most part, dude, we gotta wake the fuck up, dude. And I mean, Ron Paul supporters. I mean, I'm kind of upset right now. You know what I mean? I'm feeling a little bit upset about the whole fucking just the way. I mean, I really wish they had a platform where the questions was answered by all of the candidates, just so you could see all the perspectives on all of the questions. Not one question for 3 candidates and then one question for 2 candidates and then back and forth between 2 candidates. I mean, it's really doing the American people a disservice, you know, for them not to be able to see the one honest politician shine. And it has to do with, you know, the media bias. They've already picked your president for next year, and it's going to be Rick Perry. But only if we don't increase our efforts, man. For the most part, dog, try to stay optimistic, man. Ron Paul, 2012. Remember what this country was about, folks. It was about freedom, and it was about liberty. It was about individual responsibility, you know. And so long as we keep that in mind, Ron Paul should have a shot. But if the American people aren't ready for that transition, they better be ready for hyperinflation. Peace.